Yeah. Pro Fan Sports Podcast. Let's get it. Pro fans, tune into the program. Every single week, get the dope, fam. Sean on the mic, very flat too. Keep you updated, that's what we do. Pro fans, tune into the program. Pro fans, tune into the program. Pro fans, tune into the program. Every single week, get the dope, fam.
Yo, what to do, everybody? It's your boy John Altidor, Pro Fan Sports Podcast, where the fans of the pros go back at you with another one. My boy Vladimir and our special guest, Josue Pavone. What's going on, fellas?
What up, guys? How we doing? Appreciate the invite.
I appreciate you coming on, man. You know, this is, I mean, it's a big day to be doing this right after the Celtics game, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Too bad the series ain't tied, but that was too much, man. This Nets team is too much. It's a lot.
Yeah,
a lot to take off from the Celtics team. But at least they showed heart. They showed effort. You know, that was certainly in question at the beginning of the series, but not anymore.
For sure, man.
Absolutely. And yeah, I was just gonna say that, excited, for the show, and to have our boy Josue on. Appreciate you for coming on and connecting with me. Yeah, of course, no problem. Yeah, no, it's been too long, man. Right, exactly. We have been talking for a while and, trying to set this up for a little bit. So I'm glad we're able to do this. So, looking forward to having a great show with you guys and, talking some Celtics and, basketball. And, we are on to episode 63 of Pro Fan Sports Podcast.
Yes, sir. Vlad?
I'm good, man. I'm excited for this episode. Let's do it.
Episode 63.
Yes,
so
let's get to it.
That would be a Brad Marchand. How you say it? Marchand?
Brad Marchand.
Oh,
People say it different.
I was thinking the same thing, but I couldn't come up with a name. That's a good one.
Brad Marchand. I got Don Connolly, Patriots.
Yes, Dan Connolly. Yes. Yep. Yeah, I remember him. We got Gene Upshaw.
I saw that.
Yeah. We got Joe Andruzzi, another former Patriot offensive lineman. And then we have Willie Lanner or something like that. He was a former, a Hall of Famer himself, and in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I believe he was an offensive lineman for.
That's 55.
55.
Yeah, 55. Man.
Yeah. I'm not great with numbers, man, but certain numbers stick to you, man. That one
for sure.
Absolutely. So, he played for the Chiefs and was, all pro, offensive lineman. So that's definitely a good number. 63. We got some Hall of Famers and some great players to wear that number, particularly in Boston.
For sure, man. If you're watching, make sure you're subscribing to the channel. That's how you support us. And make sure you're following on social media, ProFans_sports on Instagram. We're at ProFanSports on Twitter, Facebook.com/ProFanSports, and of course YouTube /ProFanSports. We drop every Tuesday. Make sure you're watching for the podcast on any podcast platform. Just write our names in. We'll be right there. And the videos drop on Wednesday, so be on the lookout for us and our guest, Josue Pavone, man. So, in the Nets.
Right.
So, like we were talking about, fan throwing a bottle at, Kyrie Irving in that game 4, against the Nets on Sunday night. A 76ers fan threw popcorn at Russell Westbrook. And, so that made that situation even more polarizing because that's something that's been happening around the league. And on top of that, a Knicks fan spat on Trae Young. Right. And then on top of that, a Jazz fan started harassing Ja Morant's family. So there's a lot of, things going on around the NBA when it comes to the fans. People have been out for a long time, from from the games. You know, we've all been in the pandemic dealing with the stresses of all that. So, you know, people are acting up, you know, on their first day. I mean, in their first events back into a space with a lot of people around them. How are you guys feeling about that kind of stuff going on around the NBA right now?
Well, I mean, it shouldn't be. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it just shouldn't be happening. I mean, fans need to stay in their place and mind their business and not to shit at players. I mean, this is not. I don't know. Like, your mama raised you better than that. What are you doing throwing shit at people for? Like, and when the players get angry, and if the players were, if the shoe wasn't on the other foot and the players were
And
ever
go
to do
into the
that,
stands.
it would be crazy. Nobody would be happy. Like, that player would be crucified. You know what I mean? So I don't. That just shouldn't be happening.
No, I definitely agree. You know, with Vlad, it's what we're seeing from, you know, the way the fans that are, you know, treating, you know, the players in these playoff games. You know, it's just inexcusable, unacceptable. You know that there's no, you know, reason and no place, you know, for that to happen at a game. And, you know, trust me, because, you know, I'm a passionate fan myself. I get fired up and, you know, and enthusiastic, you know, at these games too. But you just that still doesn't give you the right to do that to these players, and you still wouldn't catch me doing that to, you know, any player, you know, as far as throwing popcorn or you know, spitting on them, or, you know, saying you know, racial, you know, slurs and vulgar language towards, you know, another player's family. But like, you just can't do that. I get you paid your money to, you know, for the game and to buy a ticket, but that doesn't still give you the privilege and doesn't give you the right to just act anyhow and do anything you feel like just because you paid that money. You still have to be civil. You still have to act like, you know, like an adult, like a grown, you know, man or a grown, like, woman, and conduct yourself, you know, in a respectful manner to these players, and, you know, and respect the game. You know, these players out there to, you know, to do a job and minding their business. They're not doing anything to you. So why are you doing things to them that are violating them and harassing them, and you know, making them, you know, feel unsafe and uncomfortable? Like, you know, that's, you know, it's fucked up. That's just, you know, simply what it is. And I, you know, definitely think that, you know, well, they're starting to do a better job, you know, holding these, you know, fans accountable, and you know, giving, you know, punishing them, and making sure that they you know, they suffer the consequences for their actions. But it's crazy as that sounds, is I don't know if it's enough what they're doing, because it still continues to happen, and, you know, many different arenas, as we've already seen in the first round of the playoffs. So, yeah, hopefully this doesn't, you know, continue to happen, and, you know, this stops, and hopefully that, you know, the league can find a, you know, better way to protect the players, because unfortunately what, you know, they're doing now is, and it's not good enough. It's not working, you know, for the players, and I'm sure they're not happy and don't feel safe and as protected as they should at these games.
I mean, at the end of the day, I think it doesn't even come down to the players. I wouldn't appreciate somebody doing that shit to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting up. I'm going to holler at somebody. You know what I mean? So I think it's even more frustrating because the players can't actually really do anything. You know what I mean? They gotta take whatever it is that the fans are doing, because if they do go into those stands, they face, you know, some hard, not even criticism, but like those fans could press charges, and you know they would. You know what I mean? It would be even worse for their reputations and things like that. So
Right, it'll be like Malice in the Palace.
Right, people just need to, you know, cut that kind of stuff out, man. And
Absolutely.
I mean, it's unfortunate, but like, you know, fans do shit like that. You know, this shit happens at concerts all the time. You know what I mean? Shit happens at plays. You know what I mean? I'm not condoning any of that stuff, but I don't think there's ever going to be a time where a fan is not doing some dumb shit somewhere. You know what I mean? Fact of the matter is these people go to these sporting events, they're drunk, they're high, they're all kinds of ways, and they're going to do something stupid. You know what I mean? And I hope that somebody actually doesn't end up getting hurt because, like, you know, if you throw a bottle, you know, from far enough, you can do some real damage, you know, to anybody. You know what I mean? And God forbid you actually hit a kid or something, you know, or a pregnant woman or something. Like, it's just inexcusable, and it shouldn't be happening. And you know, the NBA, these arenas are holding 17, 18,000 folks, so it's just going to be hard to regulate every single person that's in the building. And hopefully this kind of stuff stops happening in these arenas. You know, Jeff Green, he's out for the rest of the series against, you know, the Boston Celtics, which doesn't seem like it's going to be going too much further. So, you know, that's that.
I think he could also miss the beginning of the next series as well with the Bucks. So since they said he's going to be out for at least 10 or 14 days, and he'll be reevaluated in you know, in 10 days. So
yeah. You know, Jeff Green is a role player, but I don't think anybody's gonna have a hard time watching the Nets without Jeff Green. So feel better, buddy.
That's not gonna affect their chances of how far they go in the playoffs.
Right. You know, Kristaps Porzingis got fined for going out to the nightclub. You know, so the NBA said that you're not LeBron, you're fined $60K.
Right. Only LeBron can hit the club and go party with Drake and Michael B. Jordan and not get fined. He's the only one that is privileged and you know, is allowed and has permission to do that. Everyone else, you catching that fine if you decide to hit the club and turn up.
Yeah, you're catching something.
Right. Facts.
Julius Randle won the Most Improved Player award of the year for the NBA award, and Jordan Clarkson won the Sixth Man of the Year award, which I thought, you know, was pretty. They earned those things, so that was pretty cool.
Well deserving, absolutely.
Yep. Fans are back in arenas around the league, as we saw, you know, 17,000 fans at the Boston Celtics and the new Brooklyn Nets game last night.
Which I love.
That was really good.
No, I think other than those incidents that have happened, you know, with, you know, fans and players, I've, you know, absolutely loved watching the games and seeing the fans back in the arenas and seeing the atmosphere and the energy and, you know, excitement that the fans bring to the game, particularly at MSG in the Garden with the Knicks and the Hawks. But I believe was watching Game 2 of that, you know, series when Julius Randle got presented the Most Improved Player award before the game, and the energy was just through the roof, man. Like I was like, damn, I really missed watching you know, playoff basketball, you know, with fans in the building and seeing the, you know, excitement they bring to the game. So it was definitely good to see that, and you know, definitely I'm happy that the fans are back in these arenas. They just need to get their act together.
Yeah, I know. People are excited, like we keep saying. You know, they're doing stuff that it shouldn't be doing. Serge Ibaka missed 3 games with a back injury. You know,
missed game 3.
He missed game 3. My bad.
Yes.
I thought I said missed 3 games. Missed the game with a back injury. So what's that series right now?
It's 2-2.
It's 2-2. Yeah, Caldwell Pope missed game 4 for the Lakers with a knee injury, with a knee bruise. So there's some key players with some stuff going on around the
right, and he's a starter for them and plays big minutes for the Lakers.
Yeah, and Anthony Davis actually left the game with a groin. The game against the Phoenix, the last game they played in that series is 2-2 now as well. He's doubtful for the next game?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Is that they put him on doubtful already? Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's a groin, man. When you pull your groin.
That's true. Can't play with groins. Right, right. That's no injury to play with.
You know, I've had that. So, you know, it's not something you can just, you know, get up and 2 days later, it's...
Oh, I'm good. I'm ready to go play basketball now, right? Like, I can play through the injury. Like, no, that's definitely not something that's, you know, as easy to play through as other injuries, or as manageable to play through.
Right, for sure. So the playoff picture right now, we saw the Bucks came back and gave it to the Heat, man. They swept them, 4-0. People forgot last year Miami actually beat the Bucks when they were the underdogs and went to the finals. So first round, Miami's out. 76ers and Wizards, 76ers lead 3-0 in that series. The Hawks versus the Knicks. The Hawks currently 3-1 over the Knicks. We see Julius Randle is not playing as well as he was in the regular season. Playoff basketball is different. You know what I'm saying? Playoff basketball is definitely
especially
different.
when they pay more attention to you, when you see more double teams and tougher defenses. That's definitely tougher to score and make shots, and particularly when no one else on the team can really score like that other than D Rose. So
for sure. Obviously, the Nets and Celtics, the series is now 3-1 since the Nets won Sunday night. The Lakers versus Suns are 2-2. The Nuggets versus the Trailblazers, that series is 2-2. That's a good series right there.
It is. That's been a very good series.
Right. Mavericks and Clippers, as we said, is 2-2. And then the Jazz and the Grizzlies. What's the record now?
That's 2-1.
2-1. They haven't played. They haven't played the fourth game, right?
Yeah, they're playing game 4 tonight, Monday night. So, So that's in Memphis that they're playing, but the Jazz are up 2-1.
Yeah.
And that actually hasn't been a bad series, though. Like, it's been fun watching John Morant and Donovan Mitchell go at it, and compete against each other.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, some Celtics news. The Maid Red Claws are now the main Celtics. So that was a cool little thing that happened over the week. Obviously, Robert Williams and Kemba Walker missed Game 4 versus the Nets.
And they might not be there for Game 5.
For Game 5, right? They wouldn't be surprised if both of them don't play on Tuesday night. In Game 5.
This might be the end of the season.
Unfortunately, much as I hate to say it, I have to agree with you. It's crazy because that pretty much that's been the story of this season, right? That goes to show you and sums up their whole season. Those guys getting injured right at the end of the season, and and missing these big important playoff games. That's pretty much how the season's gone for them, unfortunately.
Yeah, for sure. And so since our last podcast, the Celtics went to Game 2. They lost that 130-108. Game 3, they won 125 and 119. And then Game 4, they lost 126-141. I believe that was the score. And we have a question for, of the week. And that's from our boy Heavy.
Yes, big shout out to
ENT, from True Era ENT. Follow him on Instagram. And his question is, would you try to trade for Kawhi Leonard this offseason if you were the Celtics?
Hell yeah. What you mean? We should have traded for him a couple years ago. I'd trade for that guy tomorrow, yesterday, today. Like, somebody like that change your whole team, man. Like, somebody like that, you bring them in, we better make the finals. We better go to the finals if you bring somebody like that. Yeah, I'll trade for that guy. But now is who you're going to give up.
Right.
That's the question. And Marcus Smart, bye-bye.
See ya. Kemba Walker, bye-bye. See ya.
Robert Williams.
Bye. Nice knowing you.
But and the other question is, are we going to have to trade for him? Because he might opt out.
He's a free agent.
So if he opts out and he comes to Boston, we're not even trading. We just have to let Kemba and, go. I don't know how we're going to do that, but we're going to have to, because the Kemba, I mean, I guess we can let Fournier go too. If we get...
Well, Fournier is a free agent at the end of the season.
Yeah, but instead of re-signing him, we can just be like, All right, see you later.
Add him,
Thanks.
as an asset to that deal. No, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, if he opts out, I think it'll be cool if he comes to Boston. I'll be really excited for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I think this is a no-brainer. The Celtics have an opportunity to, bring in, Kawhi Leonard and trade for him. Then they should do it, no questions asked, without a doubt. Like, you know what I'm saying? Where do I sign on the paper? That's what Danny Ainge should be saying. Who do I have to give up? Oh, got to give up Kimba? Cool. Marcus Smart? All right, cool. Whoever, as long as it's not Tatum or Brown, everyone else can go.
Danny Ainge can give up himself.
Kawhi Leonard. Exactly. If he wants to include himself in that deal, which I would not have a problem with, go right ahead. Like, whatever you have to do to bring in a guy like that, like Kawhi Leonard, you do it. Because, like you said, that changes the whole complexion of your team and of your roster. If you add Tatum and Brown to Kawhi, like, that's a legitimate big three that is ready to win championships right now if those guys can stay healthy. Like, that can compete with the Nets, with Philly, and with the Bucks. Like, you are right there, we're on the same level as those teams in the Eastern Conference if you're able to bring them here. Now, my only concern is if they were to do that, is with the load management and stuff, and only playing because Kawhi seems like he's a guy that only plays when he feels like playing, and it kind of seems like a diva, and I don't want that to rub Tatum and Brown the wrong way, and I don't want him to set a bad example for those guys. So they also need to have some strong leadership if they were to bring in a guy like Kawhi Leonard, because I don't want that to have any chances of messing up the chemistry and messing up the locker room, because it's already rubbing the Clippers the wrong way. So I don't want him to bring that same energy and that and have those same problems over here with the Celtics if he was to to come here. But I'm definitely a fan of the trade. I definitely would welcome and would even pick him up from the airport if he wanted to. So without question, they should do this trade if they have the opportunity to do so this offseason.
Yeah, I think sometimes the Boston fans, they kind of like have that small market mentality sometimes where, they want the homegrown stuff like, oh, we love him, Marcus Smart, everybody's in love with him. They never want to see him go anywhere. We fall into that trap, and it's like,
get too attached to players, too in their feelings about players.
Man, if you're paying attention, superstars run the NBA. If you don't have superstars, you don't win shit.
Simple as that. Fact.
It's simple as that. If Kawhi becomes available and for some reason he's like, hey, I want to play for the Celtics, come on over. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We got room.
Come
if
right
we don't,
over here, bro.
We will create room. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like we said,
we'll
Marcus,
make it work.
Excuse me. You know what I mean? Like, move. You know what I mean? So,
right. Exactly. Keep it moving. Right. Keep it pushing. Right.
So absolutely, if he becomes available and if he shows any kind of interest, I don't know if I want all these stipulations that, he gets other places, like, getting a share of the team and all that. These are all rumors and stories and stuff. I don't know if I want him to come over and do some shit like that. But, like, if he wants to play for the Celtics and actually, get treated like a player, I'm all for it. You know what I mean? I'm all
absolutely.
For it. So hopefully, that's a situation we can come into, because I know last time he was a free agent, his uncle was like, Celtics, no. Okay?
Yeah.
Like,
his uncle told him that, not to play for the Celtics?
His uncle, like, runs a lot of his business, and he's involved in a lot of the negotiations. That's what the story is out there. So,
well,
he's technically his agent, or at least one of his agents.
No, is his agent.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wow. I didn't even know. I was not aware of that.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
He was, like, I think Toronto offered him like a free crib, no taxes, nothing.
Right.
It's yours.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? So I don't want that to be the case. You know what I mean? But I definitely would not frown upon bringing on.
Wait, so you wouldn't mind bribing Kawhi to come here?
No. That's why I'm saying I'm not into all that stuff. But like, if he wants to come here and play, I mean, a lot of people would bribe him for sure. You know,
right. Celtics fans wouldn't mind that. Most of them.
I'm saying me personally, I'm not into all that stuff. Like, if you want to come here and actually play, because when you start bribing stuff, that's not basketball, man. You know what I mean? Like, really, I had to buy you a damn house for you to come here? That's crazy. You know what I mean? So,
facts.
I definitely, heavy man. You know, if he wants to be here, Kawhi will be here, and I would enjoy every second of it. So.
Absolutely. Would you guys go to a lot of games and look at getting season tickets or at least a good amount of tickets?
I'll catch a game with you, but I mean, we had Tom Brady here. I wasn't at every single game. You know what I mean? You know,
that's surprising that you didn't go to a lot of games with Tom Brady, the GOAT, here.
First of all, it's cold out there.
Where do we get the money, Barry? I don't know.
Seriously, like, we're regular guys.
Like, I'm gonna go to a game or two, but I don't got the money to be.
Yeah, I'm gonna catch a few games.
He said, but did you hear Barry's question? Are you gonna buy season tickets? You think I got season tickets, Barry? You think I'm sitting here?
Listen,
what are you talking about?
You know,
my bad, guys. I know I'm not like everyone else and stuff, because I don't want to brag and everything, because I do go to a lot of games and do get a lot of tickets, and am a well-connected person. I have definitely a good amount of connects when it comes
How about
to
you
tickets,
connect us?
Yeah,
you connect us.
You give us a season ticket.
Yeah,
buddy.
what about give us some tickets when you
I'll
get
see what I can do.
Listen,
I'll work on that for next year if Kawhi comes here, or if a superstar comes to to Boston to play for the Celtics. I'll definitely take that into consideration and see what I can do to make that happen.
Right, Joe Sway comes on the show and he thinks we've made it. It's like, no, we still got work to do, Barry.
Right, we still working. right. We're getting there. Where we're moving on up, but we're not where we want to be just yet. We're still we're still working. We're still grinding.
For real, man. But
before we move on from the NBA, I just want to tell anybody that's listening, make sure you check out our interview with the whole Sway, where we talk about the Celtics in depth and what's happening this season and next season.
Yes, sir. Make sure, because
check that out.
This is a different part of the content that we have for you this week. So make sure you check that out and share that, because he gave us a lot on the Celtics.
A lot of good information.
Was cool enough to spend about an hour with us. So you want to check that out for sure, man. But like Vlad was saying, let's move on into the NFL. We don't have too much going on, but we did see a legend retire. And shout out to Pat McAfee, because he did that on his show. After 24 years, Adam Vinatieri is now retired from the NFL, and I think it's safe to say that he's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
No brainer, no doubt.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah, that's a given. Yeah, no doubt about that.
He's one of those guys that you don't even have to wait the 5 years. It's like just put him in.
Exactly.
Kind of like Kobe. It's like, did we have to wait for 5 years?
Listen. If the Amen is waiting 5 years, the only guy that
he shouldn't have to.
The only guy that shouldn't have to is Tom Brady. That's the only
Facts,
guy.
Though. Listen, do we really want to wait 5 years for Tom Brady?
I don't want to wait 5 years. Tom Brady should be in the Hall of Fame before he retired.
Now.
Exactly. Right. Why even wait before the guy
he retired?
Right.
Yeah, get into the Hall and then go win another championship. What the fuck?
Yo, imagine he gets into the Hall and then he has another Hall of Fame career after that.
Yo, another 2 Super Bowls. Listen, the guy has had like 3 Hall of Fame careers already in one.
Facts.
in one, man. You know, so
it's incredible, unreal, it's remarkable, right? And
yeah,
he'd be the first guy to actually be a Hall of Famer and still currently be playing in the league.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
Absolutely,
ain't that
man.
something? Like, I'm already on the Hall of Fame, but yeah, I'm still playing.
Yeah, but you know, we'll give Tom Brady his flower when it's due. We give him his flowers all the time, but let's give Adam Vinatieri his flowers. You know,
Absolutely.
so he's made some of the greatest kicks I've ever seen in my lifetime. You know, and I think you will ever see. You know, we're talking about Snow Bowl. We're talking about all the Super Bowls that
36.
we won by 3, and like the guy just has big cojones, man. Like he has balls for a kicker, man, and you know. When you could predict a lot of the kickers around the league, oh yeah, this dude's gonna miss this. Like he ain't gonna make it. You never have to say this about Adam Vinatieri, man. And I think Bill Belichick said it best.
He was clutch.
Clutch is the word.
Yes.
He might miss one kick during the game, but that winning kick,
when the game's on the line, exactly.
He ain't
At
missing,
the end of the game, when it's all when it's all the marbles, and it's time to win the game, right? He gets it done. No, he's one of my favorite, Patriots, kickers, that I've seen play. Had phenomenal and an incredible career. I think he's the greatest kicker of all time. To say the least. It's unfortunate that he wasn't, with the Patriots longer, but certainly, did a lot of great things in his time with us and gave us a lot of, great, memories, from the game, from the kicks that he's made. And, and it's certainly a guy that, will always be remembered by, Patriots fans for, all the things that he's done and all the kicks that he's made in his career. Like, I don't think you'll see another Adam Vinatieri, or at least a kicker that has the longevity of Adam Vinatieri and the consistency and being reliable, in those close, tight games like he was. So definitely big shout out to Adam Vinatieri on having an amazing and great career.
That's for sure, man. Shout outs to Adam. Antonio Brown passed his physical and is officially a Buck, so he's officially signed now. Dak Prescott, he's almost at 100% after rehabbing his ankle, which, he has like 3 more months left before the full season starts. So he should be 100% by then. The OTAs are happening around the league right now. So football is almost back in full effect with OTAs starting. And out of those OTAs, Jordan Love has been, reported to look good at OTAs, said Aaron Jones. Yeah,
he's looking good.
Yeah.
Throwing to who, though? To nobody's, because all the veterans of the Packers are, skipping OTAs and haven't been there.
Well, also...
So they don't even have their number one offense on the field.
Yeah. Well, also, Jarrett Stidham looked really good in OTAs, so that says a lot, That is saying a lot.
Jarrett Stidham.
Matt Jones is doing really well in OTAs too. Yeah, he's looking really good. So that must mean he's going to be... It's stupid.
When these reporters come out and say that, oh, yeah, this guy's looking real good.
He looks like the real deal.
Right. He's throwing the ball exceptionally well. Right.
He's in shorts and jersey.
He's in mid-season form already. Like, please.
Oh yeah. He's winning the Super Bowl this year. Let's go. More trade talks about Julio Jones is pretty much on a daily basis now. Where is Julio Jones going? And he, the news is he will get traded after June 1st, I believe.
Which is this coming week.
Right, this week. Yeah, it's something about the contract that they had to wait until the June 1st date to actually
June 1st is today, as people are listening to the podcast. So.
That's right. So we'll see what happens. Yeah. We'll see if he actually ends up on the Patriots, but a few more teams have come out and shown interest.
I think by the next podcast he'll be traded, and we'll get to talk about who he's traded to and the new team he's gonna play for. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing who that is, what team he'll go to.
For sure, man. 30 out of 32 teams will be at full capacity next week. So, next season. So, outside is open again, people. People, fans are in the stands and people are having a good time again. And hopefully that helps the stress of some of these people because, they couldn't take that pandemic stuff. And some Patriots news, the Patriots signed tight end Troy Fumagalli. What? Fumagalli? How you say that? Fumagalli?
Fumagalli.
Fumagalli.
Is it fu or few?
Oh, man. That's a tough one to pronounce.
Yeah, I'm
John.
Like,
that's a tough one.
It's Troy Fumagalli. So they signed a tight end, and he looks like he's a blocking tight end. He's a camp body, okay? They released fullback. Yep, they released fullback Dan Vitale. Cam Newton got first reps in OTAs, so that means a lot.
And can you believe they've been saying that Cam Newton hasn't been looking good and is still the same quarterback and has the same throwing mechanics as he did last year in OTAs? I've been hearing Patriots, reporters and people that have been at OTAs saying that. I don't know if you guys have heard that he's still the same quarterback and hasn't changed, even with having a throwing coach and all the work he's put in the offseason.
Yeah, I'm really surprised after 11 seasons he's still the same quarterback. Like,
right?
Wow.
What did you think? Just because he started working with the throwing coach,
he's never done that before in his life.
Change.
It's like they work out with throwing coaches literally every offseason. Like the guy, he is who he is, and we're gonna get what we get out of him. So Boston sports media, it's different. It's different.
Yeah,
they think they know as soon as something happens. Jared Stidham was supposed to be the face of the franchise. Remember?
He's supposed to be the next guy.
Yes.
After Brady, the successor, right?
Yeah. And I definitely read a lot of articles that said, yeah, he's throwing the ball really well. Like he throws a really good ball. And he couldn't even beat out Brian Hoyer last year. So that's all good. And like you said,
laughable.
Mac Jones got second reps in OTAs, and I think that's something that's actually pretty.
No kidding. Who else is going to get the reps for the second team? Jared Stidham?
Well, I think
who else is getting those reps on the second team?
I think that's actually significant to me anyway.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty important actually.
Yeah.
I thought that was because we talked about it and we talked about how Bill Belichick doesn't like to start rookies and that they signed Brian Hoyer, they have Jared Stidham. I was actually pleasantly surprised to hear that he's getting second rep.
Yeah.
And that it wasn't
I'm not surprised.
And that it wasn't Brian Hoyer or Stidham. I'm actually happy with that.
I'm happy with it. I'm glad the kids, getting second team reps in OTAs and that, actually giving him a legit chance to to get a good amount of reps, with good players around him and and compete for the starting job. But I'm not too surprised because I'm not fond, obviously, of the other quarterbacks in the quarterback room that they have. So I think it's it's not a given, but I think it was pretty close to being obvious that he was going to get those reps because he needs them. That's how he's going to develop and get better and grow in their system. So I'm glad that they're doing it. Definitely not surprised because those other quarterbacks don't deserve to get second team reps. They're right where they belong, getting third and fourth team reps. That's exactly what Stidham and Hoyer need to be getting and need to be doing. So but no, good for Mac Jones though. I'm glad that he's getting that opportunity right out of the gate.
Yeah, I think you're one of the few people that are not surprised about that, Barry, because the Patriots do things by seniority a lot of the times. Like if you watch last year's OTAs, I mean, if you read up on it, Brian Hoyer was starting out the OTAs as a starter, and then Jarrett Stidham was getting the second, and then Cam came in, and that kind of like switched up, as the OTAs and the mini camp started going around. You know what I'm saying? Like Mac Jones just got drafted here. Jarrett Stidham's been here and he knows the playbook. Brian Hoyer's been here and he knows the playbook. So for him to actually be number 2, getting the number 2 most reps before Brian Hoyer and Stidham, that definitely says something to me. That says something about Mac Jones. The fact that he can learn enough to actually get second reps. And again, this is OTAs. We don't know what's going to happen in the camps. It might be the little mini camps we have, and he actually throws fourth. We don't know, but I definitely was like, oh wow, he's getting second reps already. That's good for him. And from the things I'm reading, again, this is OTAs. It seems like he's doing well for himself. And the players are talking good about him, so good for him. Hopefully that actually means something in the grand scheme of things. Hopefully, when we go into minicamp, we see him actually throwing second. You know what I mean? Behind Cam Newton and pushing for first team reps, and I think that will only be better for the team anyway. You know what I'm saying? So good for him. Donta Hightower was not present for the OTAs, and these OTAs are voluntary, so these players do not have to be at these camps. But still, there was a lot of players at the camps anyway, and it is COVID time. We'll see what happens when mandatory mini camps start going on. Nelson Aguilar looked good at wide receiver at OTAs. Hunter Henry looked good out there, running really good routes. Kendrick Bourne.
We have a tight end that looks good.
Right.
This year.
No, we have a tight end.
Oh, that's true.
There you go.
Right. We have a legit, actual tight end that knows what he's doing out there.
Right.
And knows how to play.
And Kendrick Bourne also looks good, and they're saying he looks like a younger Mohamed Sanu. I don't know if that's what we want, but
oh boy, don't bring up that name. Oh, don't say that.
Yeah. But
no, that is not good at all. That's not a good sign. I don't want to hear that.
Facts. Kendrick Bourne is looking good. It seems like all the acquisitions who are in the OTAs are looking good and doing good things for themselves. So hopefully, that's a big deal right there.
Yeah, I hope so.
Let's pivot on to the MLB. Some MLB news. Mike Trout, the face of the MLB, he will be out. He's out injured, and he'll be out for 6 weeks. So that's definitely a hit to his team.
A huge hit.
For sure.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah. Noah Syndergaard, Mets pitcher, is out for 6 to 8 weeks. And good news for Chris Sale. He's working his way back, and hopefully he'll be back in August. Like, he's working his way back. I'm thinking working his way back means like he'll be back in like 2 weeks of August. God damn.
Well, you gotta also understand, John, and understand, guys, that the guy just had Tommy John surgery.
I'm just talking about the wording in here. That's all.
No, I hear you. I'm sure you're aware of his situation and of the surgery that he just had, and how long of a process it takes for him to get back to, play and be able to pitch on the mound again. I'm
right. It's like, listen, write this stuff in July. You know what I mean? Like mid-July, like, when the guy's getting... But either way...
So not in May or not in June, right? In early June, right?
Facts, man.
That's not relevant right now.
Since the last pod, the Red Sox had 2 series. They had 2-game series against the Braves. They split that series 1-1, and then they had a 2-game series against the Marlins, which they took 2-0. So Red Sox continue to do pretty well for themselves. And some of the upcoming games, they have a 4-game series against the Astros, and then a big series against the Yankees. They have a 3-game series against the Yankees right after that. So,
we finally get to play the Yankees. It's crazy. Yeah. We haven't played the Yankees yet up until now, till June. Like, that's the only problem I had with this schedule, for the Red Sox, is that we hadn't seen them play the Yankees yet in the first 2 months of the season. I've never seen that before, as far as I can remember, that
Yeah.
it's been this long in this season and we've yet to play the Yankees. So I'm glad that's finally happened. It's about damn time that we that those two teams play each other. So I'm definitely looking forward to those games in that series coming up.
Yeah, that's a big series because the Red Sox can get some separation from the Yankees if they actually do well in that series right there, because
Right,
they're pretty
absolutely.
close in the standings.
Yeah,
And
no,
we'll
they
keep you
are.
guys updated on the Red Sox as they go along. You know, they're surprisingly really good season so far. So
Yeah, they're
hopefully
playing
that
still
continues.
well.
For
I'm
real.
surprised we're 2 months into the season and they're still looking good. I thought they would have fell down to the face of the
Yeah.
earth by now and collapsed, but so far so good. So let's hope that they can keep it up and continue to, maintain that and sustain that. Among the course of the season, now that they're going to be playing better teams and better competition. So we'll see if they can keep that going. Moving forward as the
Facts,
schedule
man.
gets tougher for them.
Right. In some NHL news, we're talking about the Bruins. Since our last pod, they took the first series against the Capitals 4-1. They did it in 5 games as opposed to the 6 games, as I said. And they looked really good against the Capitals. They did have backup goalies in the game, but they have Alex Ovechkin over there, so they kicked them
Right,
out
they
of the
have great
playoffs, man.
players
They have
over there.
great players, you know what I mean? So, and they also started their second series against the Islanders. In game 1, they took 5-2. We saw David Pastrnak scored a hat trick. The Garden was at full capacity. Playoff hockey's back, man.
It is, absolutely. It's a
Right.
beautiful thing to see. They're very, very exciting and pretty awesome to see that. Playoff hockey's officially back and sports are officially back. And I mean, this Bruins team is on fire, guys. They are playing great and exceptionally well hockey. Like, they're clicking on all cylinders right at the right time of the season. Like, there's not really anything they're not doing well, like that they're doing bad. Everything is just going well. You know what I'm saying, for them. Their top guys are playing well. Their secondary lines are playing well. Even their third and fourth lines are all playing well and contributing. And David Pastrnak's on fire. 5 goals in 3 games, including a hat trick that he just had on Saturday night. That boy
that's
was
good for
lighting
him.
it up.
That's good for him because last series he wasn't playing, that great.
Until
So
game 4, John. And once game 4 came, happened, he started to come around and get going again.
Yeah.
And he certainly played well since then, since that point on. So I think, we're really seeing a team that's, focused and locked in and and definitely clicking on all cylinders. I think that, this is a series they should win. I'm saying, and should, be able, I wouldn't say dominate, but they should be able to play better than the Islanders. Even though the Islanders are a tough, gritty, scrappy, team, they don't have as much talent, particularly on their front lines as the Bruins do. And I think, that if the Bruins, best players, play well and continue to play like they've been playing, recently, then I think this should be a relatively, short series. I'd probably say, the Bruins should win this series in 5 games. I don't think it should go any further than that. The Islanders may get one in New York when the series gets to New York for games 2 or games 4. They'll probably take, one of those 2 games, but I don't see them winning any more than that. I mean, it could happen, but I think if we continue to see what we're seeing from the Bruins, this should be a relatively, quick series. And I think, and also Tuukka Rask, Tuukka, now we're seeing.
He's been playing, man.
Exactly.
He's been playing very well.
When he's, healthy and when he's focused and locked in and and he has his mind right, and he's just focused on hockey. Like we're seeing, how great of a goalie he can be, and he's certainly been great the last few games.
Yeah.
So hopefully we continue to see that moving forward from him, and he can be consistent as we go later into into the playoffs. But I really like what I'm seeing from this Bruins team right now.
Absolutely, man, and we'll definitely keep you guys updated on what's going on with the Bruins. I say, I'm gonna keep my predictions. 6 games, we take it.
Bruins
You know
in
what I mean?
6.
Bruins in 6 for me. So we'll see what happens, but I definitely think they're a team that can, make it all the way through this thing again. Because we've seen them capable of doing that. So. We'll keep you guys updated on the Bruins and what's going on. And lastly, we're going to get into the B Money Lifestyle Person of the Week. Who you got for us, man?
Yeah. So this is going to be a special, B Money Lifestyle. It's going to actually be People of the Week. I think with the holiday that we're in Memorial Day, I just wanted to commend and show my appreciation and gratitude to pretty much all the people that have served in the military or that currently serve in the military, and then to all the veterans out there that have gone out there to war to fight for our country and to give us the freedom that we have, so we can be able to live our lives as freely as we are able to on a daily basis, every day. So I definitely just wanted to give them a shout out, and and let them know I appreciate everything they do each and every day. I have especially for me personally, I have family that's in the military, so that's makes that appreciation much greater for for me, from my perspective. um, so I definitely don't take days like this for granted and lightly, and those days have more more of a value for me, since I know people that are in the military. So we definitely, you shouldn't forget what those guys do for us. Wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for them, and be able to do the things like we're able to do, like this podcast. It certainly wouldn't happen if it wasn't for them. So just more wanted to say thank you to all the current and former veterans and military people, and to let them know that I'm grateful and thankful for what they do for us, each and every day. So big shout out to the to everyone who's in the military, or that has served in the military. That wanted to make you the B Money Lifestyle People of the Week, and that's exactly what I just did. So big shout out to you guys, and that will be that B Money Lifestyle segment of the week.
Absolutely, man. For sure. And happy Memorial Day, to the troops out there, man.
Yes,
Anybody that
absolutely.
served,
Happy Memorial Day.
And I hope the troops get taken care of, because that suicide rate is a real problem. The care of the troops is a real problem in this country, and it needs to be in the forefront of everything. So, I don't support wars, but I do support the troops. So, happy
Absolutely.
Memorial
Always
Day,
support
and
the troops.
be safe out there, man. And that's
Yeah.
gonna be it for us.
I just want to say happy Memorial Day to all the people in the Army that served and passed away. Thank you for your service.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
absolutely. And I don't know real quick if you guys do this, but anytime I see someone, in the military, when I walk by, when I'm outside and walk by and see someone that, who has served, or, is serving, I always, go up to them and say thank you for your service. I really appreciate, what you do, every day for us. I don't know if you guys do that, but that's just something that, I've gotten into the habit of doing, and always, do whenever I see, military out in public.
For sure, man. And until episode 64, man, we out of here, man. Have a good week.
Sir, have a good week, everyone. See y'all next week. Happy Memorial Day.